revealed how a single dad CEO's heart was unexpectedly transformed by his maid's incredible love. Jack sat in his expansive office, the London skyline glittering faintly against the night. He was the quintessential CEO, a tech genius, a self-made man. But inside, he felt like an imposter. Hours spent in meetings, chasing dreams, but all he had to show for it was a pristine house echoing the silence left by his daughter, Lily. At just 9, her laughter no longer filled the air. It was a distant memory, drowned in his relentless ambition. With every missed dinner, it was as if he was trading moments for milestones, telling himself it was for her future. But what future was that? A life stacked high with toys but low on warmth? Jack felt the weight of the world on his shoulders, each late night at the office making him feel less like a father and more like a ghost haunting his own home. Then came Maria. A hard-working Filipina maid in her late 30s, she entered their lives with the grace of a gentle breeze. She brought a warmth he hadn't noticed he was missing. One evening, over a hasty dinner, Maria caught a glimpse of his weariness. "You can't give all your love through money, Jack," she said softly, her hands busy arranging the children's play settings, echoing the wisdom of someone who understood true sacrifice. As pressures mounted at work, a looming deadline, the nagging threat of layoffs, he grew increasingly frustrated. Meetings piled up, his employees looking to him for guidance as he floated further away into his worries. Maria stayed calm, her quiet presence reminding him to breathe. She spoke of her struggles back in the Philippines, of working tirelessly to send money home, but her focus was on love, on family. She reminded him of what mattered. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen." Now let's continue. That evening, they shared a meal, but instead of crossing thorns, they shared memories and dreams. Her stories, layered with laughter and heartache, stirred something deep in his chest. The neglect he felt in his heart began to ache harder than the pressure of his corporate world. Jack started to see Maria as more than just help. She became a reflection of his denied humanity, someone who placed love over societal barriers. The town hall meeting loomed ahead, voices raising concerns over the community's economic struggle. Jack wrestled with a conflict growing heavier each day. Would he step forward into the unknown, his heart hopeful for the change he needed? He took a breath, his heart pounding louder with each heartbeat. As he stood before the audience, his gaze landed on Maria amidst the crowd. The tension was tangible. Would he speak for their struggles? Would he fight for community ties that crossed barriers? Would he choose warmth and connection over the cold distance of ambition? All eyes were on him, waiting, and Jack's heart thundered in anticipation of what might finally lay ahead. Jack's heart raced as he stood before the crowd, his palms sweating. The auditorium echoed with murmurs, 1,000 eyes stretching towards him with expectation. He felt small yet charged, a lone figure about to confront the tidal wave of change that could reshape their community. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, his voice slightly shaky but growing steadier with each word. "I stand before you today not just as your CEO, but as a father, a neighbor, and a member of this community." The faces of his employees flickered with surprise. They were used to hearing him talk about profits and numbers, not personal struggles or connections. Jack continued, feeling the weight of Maria's gaze anchoring him, giving him courage. "We have all felt the sting of uncertainty, whether it's losing jobs, struggling to provide for our families, or simply wondering if we'll get through another day. I've been living in a bubble," he admitted, glancing down briefly to gather his thoughts. "Chasing success while my own family, my own daughter, has missed out on my love. And I think many of us can relate." He looked back at the audience, faces shifting from surprise to concern and genuine interest. The room grew quiet, the moment hanging heavy with anticipation. "I've feared what my absence means to Lily. I've chased milestones that left us both empty," he continued, tearing down the walls of his corporate persona with each confession. But we cannot succeed if we allow our community to fail. Our strength lies in support of one another, of our families. It lies in love. A murmur of agreement rippled through the crowd. From the corner of his eye, he spotted Maria smiling gently, her warmth wrapping around him like a comforting blanket, stirring memories of laughter with Lily that he longed to feel again. I want to start initiatives to help our employees, he declared, a rush of passion surging through him. To create mentorship, opportunities, and support systems for all of us, not just those at the top. He paused, taking a deep breath to steady his racing heart, as the murmurs grew louder. The tension in his chest began to ease, replaced by a flicker of hope. Let us embrace and uplift one another together. As a community. So no one feels alone in this struggle. With each word, he felt a weight lifting, as if he was finally releasing the burdens he had carried for so long. Jack's voice soared, passion spilling over into every corner of the room. By the end, a thunderous applause erupted, echoing through the hall. Jack looked around, feeling a sense of unity and warmth that he had yearned for. Hope was igniting, people were connecting. As the cheers faded, he caught Maria's eye once more. Could it be that their lives had changed forever? Maybe they had caught a glimpse of something greater together. As people approached him, eager to share their own visions and struggles, he felt a gnawing sense of possibility and purpose. But underneath the elation, shadows of doubt still lingered. Was he ready for this shift? Could he truly mend the fractured ties with Lily while nurturing the community he now felt responsible for? Moments later, after the applause subsided, a phone call buzzed in his pocket, a message that could change everything. Jack glanced at the screen, tension enveloping him anew. What if this was the answer to his prayers, or the start of another storm? All he knew was, a new chapter was about to unfold, and he couldn't quite predict where it would lead. As Jack stared at his phone, the buzz faded into a distant hum. It felt like the whole world blurred around him. His heart pounded, each thud a reminder that his life was teetering on the brink of something unknown. Jack? Maria's soft voice cut through his thoughts. She stepped closer, concern etched on her face. Are you okay? He forced a smile, hiding the storm brewing inside. I just received a message. I need a moment. He motioned to the side, stepping away from the crowd, away from the applause that had filled the auditorium just moments before. Jack opened the message, his breath catching in his throat. It was from Lily, an unexpected photo of her smiling, eyes sparkling with joy. Beneath the image, a simple text, "Can we talk? I miss you." The words struck him like a lightning bolt, igniting hope and dread all at once. What would this conversation entail? The weight of years filled with silence pressed against him. What would she say after everything that had happened? He felt unprepared but also incredibly determined. A soft click echoed as he locked his phone, the screen fading to black. Maria approached, her eyes softening as she sensed the turmoil within him. You look like you've seen a ghost. What did she say? Swallowing, he replied, she wants to talk. His voice cracked, exposing the vulnerability that had been building since he first declared his intentions to change. Maria reached for his hand, squeezing it gently. That's good, isn't it? It feels like a step forward. Jack nodded, the warmth of her touch grounding him. Yet a knot tightened in his stomach, fear gnawing at the edges of his hope. What if she's angry? What if she can't forgive me? Then you meet her where she is, Maria said softly. You listen. Love is powerful, Jack. Let it guide you. Her words lingered, wrapping around his heart like a promise. Perhaps this was the moment he had been waiting for. All the missed birthdays, late-night work calls, and empty conversations could slip away if he could just reach out to her. Can I trust myself to do this? He murmured. Can I bring change to my family while trying to change the community too? You're already doing it, Maria said, her eyes shining with belief. You stood up for your community in there, and now it's time to stand up for your daughter. You can do both. His heart surged as a new determination sparked within him. You're right. With renewed clarity, Jack took a deep breath. Each decision leading to this moment, All the layers of fear and guilt now burned away in the face of love, a love that was waiting for him. "Can you keep this under wraps?" "I want to approach her alone," Jack said as he prepared to call Lily. Maria nodded, understanding fully where his focus needed to lie. As he stepped away to make the call, Jack's mind raced. The auditorium felt like a different world, one filled with support and encouragement, yet all he wanted was to reconnect with the one person who mattered most. The stakes had never felt so high. He dialed her number, heart racing with every ring. Just as he was about to lose his resolve, a voice answered on the other end, soft and cautious. "Dad?" The simple words sent a shiver down his spine. The weight of love and regret wrapped around them both, and in that moment, he realized this was just the beginning. But was he ready to face the truth that lay on the other end of the line? Would Lily welcome him back into her life? As the silence hung between them, Jack gathered his thoughts, knowing this conversation had the power to redefine everything. The journey ahead was uncertain, but for the first time in a long time, he was ready to face it one phone call at a time. What would unfold once he dared to listen? Jack's breath hitched at the sound of his daughter's voice. Time seemed to slow, the buzzing crowd and the vibrant energy of the auditorium fading into the background. "Dad?" The way she said it tugged at something deep inside him, a mix of hope, fear, and a flickering love he thought he had lost. "Hi, Lily," he finally replied, his voice barely above a whisper. There was a pause on the other end, and he imagined her hesitating, unsure of how to proceed. "Dad, it's been a long time. Are you okay?" Her concern was genuine, and his heart ached with regret. He was far from okay, but he didn't want to burden her with his struggles now. "I'm good, just at a big event right now. But I saw your message, and I really want to talk," he managed, hoping to sound more confident than he felt. The silence stretched, and he could almost hear her thinking. "I've been thinking a lot about us, and why things got so complicated, and well, maybe we can start over?" The last words trembled like the fragile threads of hope that had stitched their relationship together. "Start over?" Jack echoed, his heart racing as he tried to grasp this sudden opportunity. "I would love that." I don't want to rehash everything," she interrupted gently. "I just want to know if you're willing to be my dad again. I miss you." Her simple confession crushed him, the weight of everything he had missed pressing down on him. Regret threatened to drown him, but he held on. "I'm here now, Lily. I promise. I just wish you hadn't missed all those birthdays and school plays," she said quietly. "It hurt, Dad." "I know," he replied earnestly, regret tight in his throat. "And I can't change the past, but I want to make it right moving forward. For you, for us." Jack heard a faint sniffle. Was he hurting her more, or was it a sign she was starting to feel relief? "I want to believe you," she said hesitantly. "But it's hard." "Trust me," he urged, feeling a surge of determination. "Just give me a chance to show you. I want to earn your trust back, one step at a time." "Okay." Lily's voice was small but somehow lighter. "Can we meet? I want to talk face to face." "Absolutely. When and where?" "Tomorrow, if that works for you." "Maybe the park? It's peaceful there." "Perfect," he said, relief washing over him. All of a sudden, tomorrow felt like a bright, welcoming light compared to the shadows they'd been living in. "And Lily, I'm really proud of you. You've grown so much." "Thanks, Dad. That means a lot." As they ended the call, Jack couldn't shake the overwhelming mix of emotions. He felt lighter yet heavier, his heart surged with excitement, and settled with the weight of what lay ahead. Maria appeared beside him, her eyes sparkling with encouragement. "How did it go?" "She wants to meet," he said, the words bringing a newfound energy. A smile crossed Maria's face. "That's amazing. And you sound different. Like you're ready to fight for your family." Jack nodded, his resolve strengthened. "I am. No more waiting." Just then, a distant cheer from the auditorium snapped him back to reality. He had a community to build, and a daughter to win back. Maybe the two weren't so different after all, both required work, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to change. Yet the question remained, could he balance the chaos of his career while healing his family? As night fell, wrapping the world in darkness and possibility, Jack stared out at the stars, feeling a flicker of hope ignite within him. Tomorrow would be a new beginning, but what other surprises awaited him in the shadows? With the dawn on the horizon, Jack realized this was only the first step. What other secrets lay buried in the past, waiting to be unearthed? Morning light crept through the blinds, splashing soft rays across Jack's face. He woke with butterflies in his stomach. Today was the day. His fingers trembled as he reached for his phone, glancing at the time. Just a few hours until he met Lily. A rush of anxiety washed over him. What if she changed her mind? What if he messed it all up again? With a heavy sigh, he swung his legs over the side of the bed and planted his feet on the cool floor. He needed to clear his mind. A quick jog would help. The cool morning air greeted him as he stepped outside, wrapping around him like a much-needed embrace. He started running, each step a beat in a rhythm that echoed his resolve. Thoughts of Lily and their upcoming meeting filled his mind, each one layered with a mix of excitement and dread. As he ran, he reflected on his absence. How was it that he had let so many moments slip through his fingers? Birthdays, graduations, even the simple moments spent wandering aimlessly, all lost to him. He pushed harder, the rhythm of his feet driving away the weight of regret. After his run, Jack showered and dressed carefully, opting for a casual look, a button-down shirt paired with jeans. He wanted to appear approachable, to embody the dad he wished to be. Standing in front of the mirror, he took a deep breath and practiced a smile. "You've got this," he murmured. The park was just a short drive away, but to him, it felt like a journey across miles of uncertainty. As he pulled into the parking lot, his heart raced. The familiar trees and playground equipment greeted him, yet they felt foreign, as if he was stepping into a memory he had long forgotten. He spotted her sitting on a bench, nervously tapping her foot. Lily looked so grown up, a young woman, not the little girl he had abandoned. His heart swelled and sank all at once. Would she even want him here? "Hey," he said softly, approaching. She looked up, her eyes wide and searching. "Hi, Dad," she replied, a flicker of a smile dancing across her lips. He sat down slowly, feeling the weight of the moment settle between them. They lingered in an uncomfortable silence, both seeking the right words but unsure where to start. "I've missed you," Jack finally said, his voice thick with emotion. "I can't express how truly sorry I am for everything." Lily took a deep breath, her gaze fixed on the ground. "It's just hard. I want to be okay with you again, but it's not easy." "I get it," he replied earnestly. "I want to be the dad you deserve. But I know I can't just expect you to forgive me like that. I'm ready to earn your trust step by step." She looked up, her eyes shimmering with uncertainty. "How? What does that even look like?" Jack felt the gravity of her question. "It starts today. I want to hear about your life, everything I've missed. I want to be part of it moving forward." For a moment, the air thickened with tension. Then she spoke, her voice quieter. "I started guitar lessons last month." He help the smile that broke through. "That's amazing. I always knew you had a musical side." "I'm not very good yet," she admitted, a small laugh escaping her. "But it's fun." The connection was small but meaningful. As they talked about music and hobbies, Jack felt something shift. Their conversations flowed, the laughter starting to replace the weight of silence. They were slowly rebuilding together, brick by brick. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Jack realized how much time they had spent talking. But just as they were starting to talk about future plans, a dark cloud of doubt loomed over him. What if they didn't just need to talk about their past? What if there were other, more complicated issues lurking just beneath the surface? "Lily, is there anything you want to tell me?" he asked cautiously. "Anything at all?" She hesitated, biting her lip, her eyes downcast again. The shift in her expression told him everything might not be as simple as he hoped. The moment hung in the air, suspended between them. As the questions piled in his mind, Jack could feel the tension rising. Again, and he braced himself for whatever she was about to unveil. What deep-seated emotions lay beneath her hesitations? Would she reveal something more than their shared history? He held his breath, waiting for her to speak. The dive into the unknown loomed, ready to change everything once again. Lily took a deep breath, the kind that felt like it was pulling in all the heavy weight she kept bottled inside. Jack could see her thinking, her fingers intertwining nervously in her lap. A tension hung between them, crackling like static in the air. She began, then faltered, her voice trailing off. I'm scared. The word hit Jack like a freight train. Suddenly, the fear he had felt all those years began to resurface in waves. He leaned forward, intent on creating a safe space for her to share whatever burden she carried. What's scaring you, Lily? I don't want to get excited about us, about you being back in my life, she confessed, her words tumbling out in a rush. What if you just leave again? I can't go through that again. It hurt too much. The raw honesty in her voice sliced through Jack. It brought him back to all the nights he lay awake, guilt gnawing at him from the inside out. I understand, I really do, he said, the lump in his throat making it hard to continue. But I promise I'm here to stay. I won't leave you again. Lily looked up, searching his eyes for something she didn't know if she would find. How can I believe you? Jack felt the weight of her challenge. Trust takes time, he said, nodding slowly. I'm going to show you that I mean it. It starts today, and I'll do whatever it takes to prove that I'm not going anywhere. Her green eyes softened a bit as she regarded him. Okay, she whispered, almost tentatively. That one word was a small victory, yet Jack felt the immense potential for healing wrap around them like a warm blanket. They could do this. Together. What else is on your mind? He prompted, wanting her to feel like this was a safe space. Lily hesitated before continuing. It's just, sometimes I feel like I don't know who I am without you. I can't shake the feeling that I need to be someone special to earn your love. Pain squeezed Jack's heart. Lily, you don't have to be someone else. You're already special just as you are. I messed up by not being there, but please know that your worth isn't tied to my absence. I want to know the real you, not some version you think I need. Tears pooled in her eyes, and Jack felt the surge of attraction and longing for a daughter he had missed so deeply. Really? You want to know me? She asked, voice cracking. Absolutely, he said firmly, reaching out to place his hand gently on hers. And I want you to share your dreams with me to show me who you've become. For a moment, it seemed like the whole world faded away. Their hands were connected, and through that simple touch, Jack felt the foundation of something new, something that might just grow strong enough to withstand the storms ahead. Lily wiped a tear, nostrils flaring slightly as if trying to push back all the emotions surfacing at once. I want to be a singer someday, she said, her voice a shade brighter. It's what I dream about most. Jack's heart soared at the news. Then let us make that happen. No more putting it off. He laughed lightly, and she joined in, the sound easing the heaviness that lingered over them. Really? She asked, a smile cracking through the tears. Absolutely. Let us start with those guitar lessons. You sing, I'll be your biggest cheerleader. Lily laughed softly again, her laughter creating warmth around them. But before they could move further into the conversation, the weight of the world returned. Jack felt an urge rise in him to ask the questions that of his own uncertainties, ones he had buried for so long. Lily, what happened after? As he trailed off, not wanting to push too hard, Lily looked away, her expression shifting. Dad, some things are better left untouched. That simple reply sent shivers through him. What had she been holding back? Jack's heart raced as countless scenarios swirled through his mind. Lily, I need to know. I don't want to leave any part of your life in the dark, he said softly, desperate for understanding. But instead of responding, she stared at the ground, the flicker of fear returning to her eyes. The mood shifted sharply, and Jack felt a chill. He reached for her hand once more, hoping to bridge the widening gap. Please, he whispered, the plea hanging in the air like an unfinished song. The silence between them stretched, And Jack understood that the truth she was scared of might just be the abyss they both needed to face. What darkness lay in Lily's past that had shaped her so deeply? Would the truth bring them closer, or shatter everything he was trying to rebuild with her? The tension shimmered around them, thick and electric. He held his breath, waiting for her to trust him enough to share. Lily's silence acted like a wall, sturdy and unyielding. Jack felt the distance widen as he studied her face, searching for any sign of what lay beneath the surface. Memories tugged at him: the little girl who had always laughed freely, the child who had sung into her hairbrush, dreaming of stages and spotlights. He wished he could reach back into that time and protect her from whatever had snuffed out her light. "Lily," he said softly, "I know you're scared, and I can't pretend to understand everything, but we've got to talk about it. Whatever you're holding on to, it doesn't have to be yours alone anymore. I'm here to share that weight with you." She finally looked up, and Jack could see the storm brewing in her eyes. Fear mingled with defiance, two fierce emotions battling in that moment. "You don't understand, Dad. Some things can't just be talked about. They're too painful." Jack let out a deep breath, feeling the pressure of his own emotions push against his ribs. "I've spent a lot of years thinking I could avoid the hard stuff," he admitted, "but it's the hard stuff that often matters the most. If we want to build something new, we need to face it together." The sincerity in his voice seemed to penetrate the barrier she had set up. Lily's lips quivered, but she didn't speak. Instead, she stared into his eyes, searching for something that only he could provide. "Just take your time," he urged gently, wishing he could take away her fear with a mere touch. "Whenever you're ready." After an eternity, she finally spoke. "There was so much loneliness after you left. I thought I was okay, but I wasn't. I convinced myself I wouldn't need you, and then I found out that being alone hurt too much. I pushed everyone away: friends, family, even my music." Jack felt his heart break a little at her admission. "Lily, I'm sorry I didn't realize. I wish I could have been there to catch you," he said, fighting back tears of his own. "You didn't have to go through that alone. I thought if I turned everything off, it wouldn't hurt as much." She wiped a tear from her cheek, looking fragile yet strong. "But then, when you came back, it felt like something was broken inside me. I didn't know how to let you in again. I don't know how to trust you." "I might not deserve it," Jack replied, his voice low and sincere, "but I'm here to earn your trust back, step by step. If you let me, I'll prove to you that I won't let you fall again. You'll never have to feel that kind of loneliness with me." Lily drew in a shaky breath as the tension in her shoulders softened slightly. "Can we do it? Can we really build this together?" Her vulnerability struck Jack like a bolt of lightning. "Yes. Absolutely. We can take our time, learn about each other again. You're not just my daughter, you're my partner in this. We'll tackle the fears, and we'll make plans, not just dreams. You're singing? We'll make it real, no matter what it takes." A flicker of hope blossomed in her heart, fighting for dominance over the despair she'd clung to for too long. "Okay." Though the word was simple, it carried the weight of promise. In that moment, Jack felt a rush of determination surge through him. They had a long way to go, but here was their first step, a joint leap of faith into a future either of them could fully envision yet. Suddenly, as if sensing the shift in the atmosphere, Lily's expression changed. "But what about you, Dad?" She hesitated, almost nervously. "What if I discover something that could change how I see you? What if you weren't just the person I thought you were?" The weight of her question hung heavy between them. Jack's breath caught in his throat as the ramifications of her words washed over him. What had he kept buried that could risk shattering their fragile connection? And just like that, the future he thought was starting to brighten shifted into an uncertain gray. Would this journey through honesty and healing lead to revelations better left undisturbed? Jack felt as if the ground beneath him had shifted. Lily's question echoed in his mind, a haunting reminder of the past he had tried so hard to escape. He had carried secrets like stones in his pockets, weighing him down, and now they threatened to spill out with the slightest nudge. "I'm not who you think I am either, Lily," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. The admission hung in the air, heavy with unsaid realities. I've made mistakes, things I'm not proud of. But I want you to know every part of me, the good and the bad. She blinked rapidly, processing his words. What do you mean? I made choices that hurt people, he said, remembering the decisions he'd made in haste, the opportunities he had let slip through his fingers. I thought I was protecting myself by running away, but all I did was leave you and Mom to deal with the fallout. I didn't want to face the consequences. I thought I could forget, but I kept carrying it with me. Lily's eyes widened, her confusion mixed with curiosity. Like what? Jack hesitated. He had always feared vulnerability, but this was different. This was about his child, the one person in his life who had the right to know. Dad's not just a title, it comes with a lot of baggage. I've had ups and downs, times when I felt like I was sinking. I want you to see that I'm still navigating through it. It's messy. Her gaze softened, and the storm inside her started to dissipate, replaced with understanding. You mean you've struggled too? Absolutely. We're all human. I'm learning that showing our scars doesn't mean we're weaker, it shows we're real. And it means we can help each other heal. He watched as she processed this new layer of truth. So, we're both trying to figure it out. Exactly. His heart lifted slightly. The gap between them seemed to narrow just a bit. Just because I'm your dad doesn't mean I have all the answers. Far from it. But I promise I'll fight to be better for you together. With each word, he felt the weight of his own fears lessen, if only slightly. He hoped it would do the same for her. Lily took a deep breath and glanced at her lap, her fingers intertwining as contemplation flickered across her features. Maybe it's okay to show those scars then? She looked up, her voice gaining strength. If we're both figuring it out, then I guess we don't have to hide from each other. Yes. We can be messy together, he laughed softly, the warmth of connection growing stronger. He could see bright glimmers of the girl she once was, coming back to life amidst their shared honesty. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting warm shades of orange and pink across the room, they allowed themselves a moment of solace in this new understanding. For the first time in a long time, Jack found hope blossoming not just for Lily but for himself too. But then a shadow flickered across her face. What about Mom? She asked, her voice barely more than a whisper. Will we have to face her too? The question sent a chill racing down Jack's spine. He glanced away, fear creeping in again. The memories of their past, torn and raw, surged like tidal waves, threatening to crash over them. Could they truly heal together? And what would happen when they had to confront the woman who had once kept them apart? Jack's heart raced as he considered the potential fallout. Would the path of transparency and healing only lead them back to more pain? Jack felt a tightness in his chest as Lily's words hung in the air, heavy and uncertain. He had spent years avoiding the truth, and now, facing it head-on, threatened to unravel everything he had built. The thought of talking about Lily's mom, their shared past, felt like stepping onto shaky ground. What do you really think she's going to say? He asked, trying to keep his voice steady, but he couldn't mask the tremor. Lily shrugged, a wariness creeping into her expression. I don't know. I want to believe she'll understand, but what if she doesn't? Jack took in her vulnerability and felt a mix of pride and sadness. The truth has a way of coming out, just like it connected us in this moment. But we have to be ready for whatever happens next. It could be hard. What if it's worse than hard? She whispered, her eyes darting away as she gripped her hands tighter. Worse is a possibility, Jack admitted, his heart heavy. But it doesn't mean we can't make it through. You and I were stronger than we think. We can face anything together. The flickering light from the street crept through the window, painting both their faces with warmth as he reached out and gently placed his hand over hers. Trust me. I spent too long running. It's time to stand tall and own our truth, regardless of the cost. What if standing tall means losing her? Lily's voice trembled, revealing a deep-seated fear Jack recognized all too well. That's always a risk, but hiding isn't the answer. Jack felt the urge to pull her into a hug, to shield her from the worries swirling around them, but he resisted. They needed to meet their fears directly. You deserve to know your mom as she really is, and I owe you that. Lily took a breath, her decision forming as determination sparked in her eyes. You're right. I don't want to hide anymore. Jack's heart swelled. That's the spirit. We'll figure this out together. Even if it feels overwhelming right now, we have each other. As the conversation shifted, they slowly moved to lighter topics, laughter threading through the heavy silence like a lifeline. Jack cherished these moments, watching Lily open up, her smile illuminating the space around them. For a while, they forgot the looming shadow of uncertainty. But then, just as quickly as the joy had arrived, the heaviness returned. Jack's thoughts shifted back to what lay ahead. His phone buzzed on the table, the screen lighting up with a message from his lawyer. He hesitated before picking it up, a wave of anxiety crashing over him. The case was moving forward, and he could almost feel the walls closing in. Hiding wasn't an option anymore. The looming confrontation with Lily's mother would come, and he couldn't dodge it any longer. What consequences awaited them both? Dad? Lily's voice broke through his reverie, pulling his attention back to her. Are we really ready for this? He stared at the screen for a moment longer, dread pooling in his stomach. Honestly? I'm scared. But I know deep down we have to do this. We have to take the leap. As the room fell quiet, Jack felt the weight of unspoken fears pressing against him. Together, they had started to peel back layers of hurt, yet he couldn't shake a nagging doubt: would the truth bring them closer, or tear them apart? Let us promise each other, Jack finally said, his voice thick with emotion, no matter what happens with Mom, we'll stay by each other's side. I promise, Lily said, determination flickering behind her eyes, though uncertainty still faded her smile. And as they locked eyes, understanding and anticipation simmered beneath the surface. Would they summon the courage needed for the confrontation of a lifetime? As the night closed in around them, Jack knew it was time to brace for what was coming. What truth lay ahead when they finally faced the woman at the center of their fractured family? The sun broke over the horizon, casting a golden hue across the park where Jack and Lily had agreed to meet their shared past. Today was the day they would confront the shadows that had loomed over their lives for too long. Jack felt a whirlwind of emotions as he sat on that familiar bench, heart racing with anticipation and the weight of uncertainty. Lily arrived, her footsteps echoing with nervous energy. She looked beautiful yet guarded, a reflection of the young woman she had become. With a gentle smile, Jack beckoned her to sit beside him. Ready? He asked softly. I think so, she replied, her eyes scanning the park before settling back on him. But I'm still scared. Me too, he confessed, feeling the shared vulnerability pulse between them. But we'll take it one step at a time. Remember, we promised to face this together. As they waited, Jack's mind raced to all the times he could have reached out to Lily's mom, all the conversations left unsaid. The doors swung open in his heart, and the memories flooded back: the laughter they shared, the dreams once so vibrant now shrouded in silence. The thought of facing her, despite the fear, ignited a flicker of hope. I don't want to feel that heaviness again, Lily murmured, her voice barely above a whisper. I know, Jack replied, taking a deep breath. But being honest might just set us free. Just then, a figure approached in the distance, her silhouette unmistakable. Emily, Lily's mom, walked toward them, her expression unreadable. As she drew nearer, Jack's heart raced violently, each beat seemingly audible in the still morning air. Hi, Mom, Lily said, her voice shaky yet determined as their gaze met. Hey, sweetheart, Emily replied, her tone cautious. And then, her eyes shifted to Jack, locking in on him, scanning for evidence of his sincerity. Emily, he managed to say, feeling the weight of years and mistakes hanging heavily in the air. I know this is unexpected, but we need to talk. Lily fidgeted beside him, gripping his hand for support, and Jack felt a moment of grounding in their connection. I don't think there's much to say, Emily said slowly, assessing the two of them. You left without a word. Now suddenly you want back in? Jack swallowed hard, guilt creeping into his veins like ice. "I know how it looks," he began, his voice unwavering with intent. "And I can't change the past, but I want to take responsibility and be part of Lily's life again. I want to be a better father and a better man." To his surprise, Emily's eyes softened a bit, though her defenses were still high. "You think that's enough?" 3 years of silence and guilt magically resolved by a few words. "It's not just words, Emily. I'm here because Lily deserves to have both parents in her life, regardless of what happened between us. I realize I made choices I regret. I want to face the truth together." The intensity of the moment wrapped around them like a heavy fog, and Jack felt Lily squeeze his hand. "Mom," she added softly, her voice steady, "I need both of you. We can't keep ignoring the truth. We can't build what we want without acknowledging what happened." With a measured breath, Emily's gaze flickered between them, the fire of pain slowly giving way to a flicker of understanding. "You really want to make this right, don't you?" "I do," Jack replied earnestly. "I promise to show up for Lily. Help me be a dad she deserves. Let us navigate these waters together for her sake." Emily let out a shaky breath, the tension in her shoulders easing just a fraction. "It won't be easy, you know. Trust doesn't come back overnight." Words spilled between them, a mix of emotions, questions, and fears. Lily listened, holding her breath, seeing her parents wrestle with the truth that lay before them. Jack spoke from the heart, revealing his fears and regrets, and slowly, Emily's fire met his honesty, softening in the face of genuine remorse. "I don't want this to break you both again," she said, a tear slipping down her cheek as she faced the woman she once loved and the man she once blamed. "We have to commit, all of us." With a wave of fresh determination, Lily felt a sense of hope rising in the space between them. "If we can promise to try for each other, I believe we can get through this." Jack lifted his chin, excitement brimming. "What if we start over? No walls, just understanding?" Emily nodded, her expression transforming into one of vulnerability, as she slowly let down her walls. "That sounds like a good start," she whispered, the heaviness in the air lifting. In that moment, something shifted. Each of them took a tentative step toward healing. They weren't erasing the past, but they were starting to build a bridge over it, mixing forgiveness with understanding like fresh paint upon a weather-beaten canvas. Together they sat, sharing stories, laughter, and even silence, as if they could all feel the powerful currents of change flowing through them. And with each word, a new chapter began, not just for Jack or Lily, but for Emily too. A family defined not by its fractures but by its willingness to embrace love. As they faced the reality of their shared history, Jack realized that turning back to those hard truths had planted seeds of hope, one that would blossom into a future stitched together by love and understanding. "You know," he said as the sun set behind them, casting a warm glow, "maybe we're stronger together than we ever were apart." They smiled, just beginning to believe that perhaps they could redefine their family together, a family woven together not through absence, but through understanding, resilience, and an unbreakable bond of love. And as they walked forward into the sunset, Jack felt a stirring of possibility, a testament to acceptance and growth. The journey ahead would hold challenges, but they were ready to embrace it as a family. Now was the time to share this moment, to spread the word about the power of love and transformation. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and let others witness this incredible journey. Comment your reactions and feelings about this heartwarming ending. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait not even one more second to share.